Hare Krishna. We were discussing from the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and we have completed 26 verses so far. And in the last verse that we discussed, we saw how Krishna says that even if somebody gives me patram, pushpam, phalam or toyam with love and devotion, I shall accept it. And we discussed how magnanimous and generous Krishna is, that Krishna only looks for bhakti, or the feeling or the devotion and love with which we offer Krishna, right? So going forward, now Krishna is going to speak about the bhakti tattva, or the signs of devotional service, in more detail that we can see here. So we will start from the 27th verse onwards of the 9th chapter. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Here Krishna makes a very brilliant point. Krishna says, Yat karoshi, whatever you do, Yad ashnasi, and whatever you eat, Yad juhoshi, whatever you offer. Offer here means whatever, dana or dharma that we do for others. For example, if you are giving in charity, so that is considered as offering. So whatever you offer, dadasi yat, right? Juhoshi dadasi yat, whatever you offer or you give away in charity. Yat tapasyasi, whatever austerities you perform, right? Kaunteya, O Arjuna, tat kurushva madarpanam. What you do? You kurushva, all those things that you are doing, do that madarpanam, like as an offering to me. The translation is, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So this is Prabhupada makes a very beautiful point here in his purport, the very first line, that in this particular verse Krishna is trying to teach us how one can, it is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstances. Like you see, Yat karoshi, whatever you do, Yad ashnasi, whatever you eat, right? For example, there might be someone who says that, no, I am very lazy, I don't do anything. So okay, then whatever you eat, because without eating you cannot sustain your life, so whatever you eat, you offer that to Krishna first and then eat, right? Yad juhoshi dadasiyat, whatever you give away in charity, whatever you offer to others, you do that for Krishna. Whatever austerities you perform, you do that for Krishna. So these things are such that by remembering Krishna while doing everything, we become constantly in touch with Krishna. But at the same time, there are some people who interpret this verse in a different way. They say that, whatever, that is also possible. Somebody might think or take the opposite side. Whatever you want to do, you do, but in mind you offer to Krishna. See, it is not like that. Like for example, somebody might say, Yad ashnasi, whatever you are eating, you offer to Krishna. So I eat meat, so I will offer meat to Krishna. Right? It is okay. No, it is not allowed. This particular verse is trying to say that we should mold our life in such a way that our life becomes an offering to Krishna. So we don't offer something to a person that that person does not like. Right? So Yat Karoshi here means that walking on the path which Krishna wants you to walk. Walking the path of life, or doing things that takes you closer to Krishna. Something which is worth offering to Krishna. A life which is worth offering to Krishna, or a life which is led so that Krishna is pleased. That is what the real import or the real crux of this verse is. It is not that do whatever nonsense you want and just in mind you offer that to Krishna. It doesn't work that way. You have to offer whatever you do. Like for example, you have to uh, connect both the verses, the 26th verse and 27th verse. You see the series, Krishna is trying to speak about devotion, and devotion simply means love. And when you love someone, you do something that pleases the other person. It is not about you, but the other person who is loved. So similarly, if you love Krishna, if you want to offer your life to Krishna, you have to do things that Krishna likes or Krishna loves you to do or you to be like. So here when we say Yad Ashnasi, you should know that you have to cook nice prasadam that is dear to Krishna and offer it to him and then accept it as a prasad. Yat Karoshi means doing devotional service, doing charity and offering in Krishna consciousness for the sake of Krishna. That is whatever austerity is, the austerity is for Krishna. Like for example, doing Ekadashi Vrat or doing your regular sadhana. These are austerities. For whom you have to do it? You have to do it to please Krishna. And in this way, you can be connected with Krishna 24/7 and make your life successful. Now, the next verse, the 28th verse. Shubha Shubha Palair Evam Mokshase Karma Bandhanaihi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi. In this particular verse is very beautiful. Now, if you take the 27th verse, in the 27th verse, Krishna said that you offer me everything, right? Now, somebody might have a doubt that what will happen if I offer it to you? What is the gain if I offer it to you? So, Krishna is saying in the 28th verse that Shubha Ashubha Phalair Evam Mokshase Karma Bandhanaihi. Krishna is saying that, see, whatever you do, it either leads to Shubha Karma or Ashubha Karma. Now Shubha and Ashubha are actually results, right? It will give you Phalair, that is result. The result can be either Shubha, auspicious, or Ashubha, inauspicious. Shubha Ashubha Phalair Evam Mokshase Karma Bandhana. Now if you offer it for Krishna, you do karma for the sake of Krishna, what happens is Shubha Ashubha Phalaireva Mokshase. You get liberated. You will be free from the auspicious and inauspicious results of those activities. Because of which ultimately what happens? Mokshase Karma Bandhanaihi. This, this bondage or this jail in which we are, which is, we are living in a jail in which we are tied up by the ropes of our own activities, right? That is karma bandhana, right? Because of that karma bandhana only we are supposed to enjoy shubha and ashubha phala. So Krishna is saying, if you offer everything for my sake and you do things which are pleasing to me, in short, if you are executing devotional service, what will happen ultimately? You will get moksha, that is, you will be liberated from what? Karma bandhana. From this hard knot ties of karma, you will escape that, right? Sannyasa yoga yuktatma vimukto mahamupaishyasi. And what will happen? Somebody who is, who is free from this bondage of karma, sannyasa yoga yuktatma, you have to perform the activity with sannyasa or renunciation, and you have to engage completely in yoga. What happens to such a person? Vimukto, that person is liberated, and mam upaishyasi, and that person will attain me. Krishna is saying that person will attain Krishna. Translation: in this way you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. So in this verse, Krishna is confirming again in this chapter that if you perform devotional service, you will come back to me and you will be, free from all these bondages of karma and its phala. Now, in the next verse, that is the 29th verse of this chapter, somebody might have this doubt that, okay, Krishna, you are telling that we should offer everything to you and surrender unto you and do everything for your sake and ultimately come to you. But who are you actually? What are you? Right? These all these questions, like, who are those people? Like, do you also have any likes and dislikes? Why are you saying everybody to come to you? Right? And what about those people who are your devotees? Please clarify all these things. So for that sake, Krishna is speaking the 29th verse where Krishna says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyah ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham. It's a very beautiful verse. Krishna says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu. Who am I? Sama. I am equal. Aham. I. Sarvabhuteshu. To all the living entities. Right? The first thing Krishna is saying that, which means that every living entity can approach Krishna. Right? Like if we take Devatas into consideration, the Asuras cannot approach Devatas. Why? Because they have conflict between each other. But the Supreme Lord is not like that. The Supreme Lord says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu. I am equal to everyone. Anybody and everybody who wants to surrender and perform devotional service is accepted by the Supreme Lord. Name dveshyosti na priyah. Name dveshya. I don't have envy, like I am not envious of anybody or hateful of anybody. I don't have hate for anybody. Asti na priyah. And I don't have any, any special, like, he is basically saying that I am not into these dualities of like and dislike. It is not like I like this particular person and I dislike somebody else. I love this person but I hate this other guy. No, it is not like that. Krishna says, Name dveshyo asti na priyah. There is no specific like I am favorable to this person but I am not favorable to this person. No, I am not like that. I am samoham sarvabhuteshu. I am equal to everyone. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya tu. But there is one thing that Krishna wants to say here. He says, Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya. But those people who bhajanti, who render devotional service, who do my bhajan, bhaktya, with devotion. Okay, so in the first two lines, Krishna is saying that I am equal to everybody. There is nobody who is specifically dear to me and there is nobody whom I hate. But for those people who with devotion, with bhakti, who render devotional service unto me, maite teshu cha api aham. I am theirs and they are in me. I am in them and they are in me. Like we are in union. That is what Krishna is saying. So the translation is, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. You see? So, which means that when we render devotional service, we all have this opportunity to reunite with our most dearest friend. The dearest friend who is the most closer to our heart, the closest in fact. And Krishna is saying that, but those people who render devotional service to me, he goes to that extent to say that I am with them and they are with me always. Right? They are my friends and I am also their friend. That's what Krishna is saying. Now this next verse, that is the 30th verse of this particular chapter, it is a very hope-giving, verse for each and every one of us, especially. Because Krishna in the previous verse he said that we can become friends and very close to Krishna through devotional service. But one may think that I had a very long history of being a very bad person, or I have done abominable things in my life. Is there any hope for me? So Krishna in response is speaking this verse where Krishna says, Api chet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhag sadhur eva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi sah. Krishna says, Api chet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhag. Api chetsu duracharaha means even if one has committed the most abominable actions. Somebody, here Krishna uses the word sudurachara, not just durachara. He says that the best among the duracharis, somebody who has committed a very abominable thing, who is very fallen, if that person also bhajate mam ananya bhag, but still he is doing what? He is doing devotional service. He is chanting my holy names and he is performing bhakti. Ananya bhag, without any deviation, he is doing bhajan for me. Sadhur eva samantavyah. That person should be considered a saint. Sadhu. Sadhur eva samantavyah. Samyak vyavasito hi sah. Completely situated in determination. Such a person is doing bhajan. If a person has a history of being very much fallen or doing very much abominable activities, even if that person takes to devotional service and he renders devotional service to the Supreme Lord without deviation and fixed with determination, that person should not be judged on the basis of his past life, and he should be considered to be a saint, in fact. So the translation is, even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is considered to be saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. So in this verse, some people can also misinterpret it and think of it in other way. To criticize the Bhagavad Gita, they would say that, oh, then I will do sins and I will do bhakti also. How about that? Then also I should be considered a saint? No, it is not like that. Prabhupada very clearly says in the purport that these are actually for accidental fall downs that happens. Right? If a person is sincere, he will sincerely try to not commit sinful activities. And if you are trying to cheat Krishna, you must better know that he is the Supreme Lord. He knows you better than you yourself. You cannot cheat Krishna. So this is not a way out to cheat Krishna and somehow or the other get Vaikuntha. This is not like that. This is a very serious business, but this is to give hope, and Krishna wants to convey that even if, say for example, there we might know in our life some Vaishnavas, we might be knowing them since a long period of time, and they might be our childhood friends, or we might be knowing them in some other capacity, and we have this tendency of judging those Vaishnavas based on their past habits, right? We must not do that, right? That is what we should not judge a Vaishnava, because Krishna never judges them, and Krishna doesn't give the authority to anybody to judge them. It is between them, Guru, and Krishna. We have no business in judging Vaishnavas, because even if somebody was a durachari or has committed some offenses, Krishna is ready to forgive them, and Krishna considers them a saint. So who are we to judge them, right? So a mature devotee never really judges anyone, right? They only focus on how to improve their relationship with Sadhu, Guru, Shastra, and the devotees, the Vaishnavas in general. So we must be concerned about that. We must be concerned about how to improve our devotional service, and we must not think that, oh, then even if I commit offenses and I chant the holy names, it is fine. No, it is an offense. And offenses are very serious. It is more dangerous than even sin, right? Because offenses can end our bhakti, the bhakti that is there in our heart. It is dangerous. It can even end bhakti that is there in our heart. So we must not offend and try to cheat Krishna. So somebody, after hearing verse number 30, he might think that, but how Krishna? How is it possible? How come somebody becomes a saint? So now Krishna in the 31st verse, he clarifies it. He says, क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्त प्रणश्यति. Krishna says that क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा. क्षिप्रं means very fast, very soon. What happens? Bhavati, becomes. What? Dharmatma, righteous or religious. Shashvat chantim nigachati. Shashvat means something which lasts forever, right? Shashvat chantim, somebody gets a peace that lasts very long. Shashvat chantim nigachati, that person attains. Kaunteya pratijanihi, O Arjuna, pratijanihi, you declare, O son of Kunti, you declare that Name Bhakta Pranashyati, my devotees, they never perish. Translation: he quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So we must, link the two verses again. So the person about whom in the 30th chapter, 30th verse Krishna was speaking, it is a continuation, 31st verse. So in 31st verse Krishna is saying that, that person who is trying to do Ananya Bhakti even after so many fall downs, what happens when he does Bhakti? Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma. As soon as he starts doing Bhakti, very soon he becomes righteous. And what does he get? He gets a lasting peace. Right? In this world we see that we are actually looking for peace only. Right? After a week long, working days, in weekends, what do we want? We want peace. Everything that today people are searching for is nothing but peace only. Right? And Krishna here says that Shashvat Shantim Nigachati. So for the lasting peace, the only resolve is actually bhakti. That is what. Right? Shashvat Shantim Nigachati. Kaunteya Pratijanihi. O Arjuna, you declare that Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotees never perish. Right? So somebody might have this doubt that why is Krishna saying Kaunteya Pratijanihi? Why is he saying Arjuna, you declare? Why is he not declaring himself? That is because Arjuna is also a devotee. Right? So Krishna can... maybe Krishna can break his vows, but he would never break the vows of a devotee. That is what is seen. Even in the war of Mahabharata, Krishna had took this vow that I won't take Shastra in my hands. I won't take weapons and fight. But when he saw that his devotee Arjuna is in danger, he was not concerned about his own vows that he had took as a Kshatriya. And he just went, rampaging against Bhishma. So that's why he is saying that, oh Arjuna, you declare, right? You are my friend, you are my devotee. I will never make your words go wrong. That everybody knows. That's why. So the idea is that Krishna's devotees, they never perish. Moving forward, Krishna in the 32nd verse now describes that, to become a devotee, there is no condition. Anybody can become a devotee. He says, Mam hi partha vyapashritya yepi syuh papa yonayah striyo vaishyas tatha shudras tepi yanti param gatim. Krishna says that Mam hi partha vyapashritya, of those who particularly take shelter to me, right? Ye apisyo papa yonayah. Even though they are born of papa yonayah, they are having a lower family birth, like born in a family of like a chandala or whatever it is, somebody who is lower born, or striyah, or women, or vaishyas, or mercantile people, tatha shudras, or people who are lower class men, right? Shudras means they are the fourth order of the society. Te api yanti param gatim. Even they can get what? Param gatim, the supreme destination, right? O son of Pratha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, vaishyas, and shudras, can attain the supreme destination. This actually, Krishna is saying this because somebody might have this conception that, this is only for Brahmanas, right? This is only for Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. This is not for the other men. This is only for men and not for women. Or this is only for people who have high class birth, who are highly intelligent and all those things. But Krishna is saying that no, those things are not a consideration, right? So one must not think that this is some kind of a discrimination of something, or Krishna is speaking lowly of someone. No, it is not like that. Krishna is saying this to make it clear for everybody, right? So, and we have already discussed in our previous sessions like how the four varnas came into existence, where Krishna says chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagasam, how it is divided on the basis of the gunas, the qualities that we acquire, and all those things. So I'm not giving much of a stress here on those points. So you must go through the entire series to really understand that what do we really mean by Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, right, when we speak here. Secondly, we must also understand Striya. Somebody might have this problem that how can you say that Stri, is she lower than man? That is what Bhagavad Gita is saying. Actually, no. The thing is, women were not supposed to read the Vedas and study the Vedas, right? They were not considered to be qualified at some point of time to read and understand the Vedas, right? And for them, actually, the Puranas and Itihasas are there, which are actually nothing but part of Vedas only. Like it is part of the Shruti Shastra only. I have made a separate video on all these things, right? Why Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost literature. There we have already discussed all these points in very great length. If somebody is enthusiastic, they can go there and watch how the Puranas and Itihasas, all these things work, right? So the point is that Krishna is saying that it is not limited for like a particular sect of people. It is not limited to a particular class of man, or a particular race of man, or based on gender. It is for everybody. That is what Krishna is saying. Even if you are this doesn't matter. You can execute devotional service, right? So somebody should not take it in a different way. That is what. So even if somebody is born of a lower birth, right, somebody is women or vaishyas or shudras, they can also attain the supreme destination. That is what Krishna is saying here. In the next verse 33, Krishna says that apart from these people who are actually of a higher birth, if somebody considers himself to be of higher birth, or somebody is a Brahmana, or somebody is a Raja Rishi, something like that, like Yudhishthir Maharaj, for example. For those people, Krishna is saying that then how much beneficial it would be for you. So you also do like that. Kim punar brahmanah punya bhakta rajarshayas anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Then kim punar Like if the 32nd verse, this bhakti, if it is so beneficial for, you know, people who are lower born, or people who are Vaishyas or Shudras, now you think kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayastata. How about those people who are brahmanas, who are saintly kings, and who are righteous devotees? For those people who have come to this world which is anityam asukham lokam, the world which is anitya, which is not forever. Nityam means something which lasts for eternity. Anitya means something which ends, which has an end, right? Anityam asukham lokam. Sukham means happiness, and asukham means distress. This place where we are, it is full of anityam and asukham lokam. So Krishna is not directly saying material world. Krishna is saying that place, lokam, where anityam and asukham, this is the proper what do you say, this is the proper definition of this place, anityam asukham, right? Before also we have seen how Krishna says about this world, right? Dukhalayam ashashvatam, it is the same thing. Dukhalayam means at a place where there is only misery, and ashashvatam means a place which is not shashvat, which has an end. The same thing Krishna is saying again, anityam asukham lokam, this place. Imam prapya bhajasva mam, somebody who has come to this world and he is bhajasva mam, he is engaged in my devotional service, he is chanting my holy names. How good it would be if you are a brahmana or a devotee or a rajarshi. That's what Krishna is saying. Translation: how much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Right? So Krishna is saying here to the brahmanas and rajarshis also, you also, so now think how glorious it would be, so you also engage in my devotional service, like that. Now comes the last verse of this chapter, wherein Krishna openly speaks about bhakti completely, and Krishna also encapsulates the process and the consciousness and everything into this verse. It's one of the most beautiful verse and one of the most widely quoted verse from the Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi yuktavyam yuktvaivam atmanam mat parayanaha. Krishna says, man manaha, always think of me. Bhava mad bhaktaha, become my devotee. Mad yaji, become my worshipper. Mam namaskuru, pay obeisances unto me, offer obeisances unto me. Mam eva eshyasi yuktvaivam, yuktva evam, right? And being completely absorbed in me. Mam eva. Eva means completely or only to me, certainly. Like mam eva eshyasi, you will reach, you will come to. That is what eshyasi. Mam eva eshyasi yuktva evam. Yuktva means being absorbed. Atmanam mat parayanaha, those atmanam, your soul, mat parayanaha, devoted unto me. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Right? So this is bhakti. Right? Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam eva eshyasi yuktvaivam atmanam mat parayanaha. If you are devoted unto me, you always think of me, you become my devotee, you offer obeisances to me, you worship me, and by doing all these things, what will happen? you will ultimately come to me. That is what Krishna is saying here. So it is all of our duty to actually get out of this world which is anityam and asukham and try to go to Krishna. How? By following this verse, always thinking of Krishna and becoming his devotee. And and we don't have to worry about the process or worry about the result all the time. Why? Because Krishna says that you will get lasting peace if you are devoted to Krishna. If you just start with devotional service, then also shantim nigachati, shashvat shantim nigachati, you will get that lasting peace when you are devoted to Krishna, right? So the process is also very nice and the destination is superb, right? So it is a very beautiful chapter. The heart of Bhagavad Gita is this chapter, and we have completed this chapter today. So we'll come back with the next chapter, starting with the next chapter in the next video. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.